You're at a funeral. The room is silent, heavy, everyone's eyes are down. And out of nowhere, you feel it. A laugh, bubbling up from somewhere deep, completely uninvited, at the single worst possible moment. You clamp your mouth shut, you bite your cheek, you stare at the floor, and that only makes it stronger. You are horrified at yourself, because nothing is funny. Nothing about this is funny, so why is your body trying so hard to laugh? It happens everywhere the stakes are high and the mood is serious. You laugh when your boss is chewing you out. You laugh when someone tells you devastating news. You laugh during a tense argument in a quiet classroom at exactly the moment you're trying hardest to hold it together. And every time, the same wave of shame. What is wrong with me? The answer is nothing. There is nothing wrong with you. Nervous laughter is one of the most misunderstood things your body does, and once you see what's actually behind it, it stops looking like a malfunction and starts looking like one of your brain's most clever emergency tools. Because here's the twist that unlocks the whole thing. Your laughter was never really about something being funny in the first place. So let me show you what's actually happening when you laugh at the worst possible moment. By the end, you'll understand what laughter is truly for. The real reason it erupts when you're stressed or scared or grieving, why trying to suppress it makes it dramatically worse, and the hidden social signal you're sending without ever deciding to. Let's start by throwing out the assumption everyone makes about laughter. We think laughter is a reaction to comedy. Something is funny, so we laugh. But when researchers actually studied human laughter in the wild, recording thousands of real laughs in everyday conversation, they found something startling. Most laughter has almost nothing to do with jokes. The vast majority of the time, people laugh after totally ordinary, unfunny statements. I'll see you later. Are you sure? It was nice meeting you. Laughter, it turns out, is mostly social. It's a sound we make to bond, to smooth things over, to signal that everything between us is okay. It's less like a response to humor and more like a kind of social glue, a noise that says, we're good, we're together, no threat here. And that single fact changes everything, because if laughter isn't fundamentally about funniness, then laughing at a funeral isn't a broken response to a serious event. It's laughter doing one of its other, older jobs, the job of managing tension. So here's the first big piece. Think of an intense emotion, fear, stress, grief, deep awkwardness, as pressure building inside you. Your body doesn't love sitting in that high-pressure state. It wants to discharge it, to find some release. And it turns out laughter is one of the most powerful release valves your body has. The physical act of laughing floods you with relief, loosens your muscles, and pulls you back down from that peak of tension. So when an emotion spikes too high to hold, especially when you can't express any other way, your brain reaches for the valve. It's not laughing because the moment is funny. It's laughing because the moment is too much, and laughter is how it lets the pressure out. You've probably felt this exact thing after a near miss. You almost get in a car accident, you swerve, your heart is pounding, and a second later you're laughing, almost giddy. Nothing funny happened. You were just terrified the threat passed, and your body dumped all that built-up fear out through laughter. The funeral laugh is the same machine running. A wave of grief or discomfort surges up, and your nervous system grabs the nearest tool to release the pressure, even though the timing is catastrophically wrong. But there's a deeper layer here, and it explains why it's specifically dark or threatening moments that set us off. Researchers who study humor have a name for what tips us into laughter, a benign violation. The idea is that we laugh when two things are true at the same time. First, something is wrong, a violation, something threatening, taboo, or off. And second, that wrongness is also somehow safe, benign, not actually going to hurt us right now. When your brain registers both of those at once, this is wrong, but I'm okay, the result is laughter. Now apply that to the worst possible moment. A funeral, a serious telling off, a moment of real fear. These are saturated with violation. Something deeply wrong or sad or threatening is happening, but at the same time, sitting in that pew, you are physically safe. Nothing is attacking you in this instant. Your brain is holding both signals, intense wrongness and present moment safety, and that's the exact recipe that produces a laugh. The very darkness of the situation is part of what triggers it. That's also why people laugh at gallows humor, why soldiers and doctors and grieving families crack the bleakest jokes. The bigger the violation, the bigger the release when your brain also clocks that. Right now, you're going to be okay. So now we understand why the laugh appears. But there's still the most maddening part. Why does it get worse the harder you fight it? You know you can't laugh here. You are using every ounce of willpower to stay solemn. And somehow that effort backfires and the laugh claws its way out anyway, stronger than before. This is one of the strangest quirks of the human mind, and it has a name: ironic process theory. When you try with all your might not to think about something or not to do something, your brain has to keep a monitor running in the background, constantly checking, am I doing the forbidden thing? Am I about to laugh? Don't laugh. Are you laughing? And that monitor, by its very nature, keeps the forbidden thing front and center in your mind. The act of suppressing it requires you to hold it in your attention, which makes it louder, not quieter. It's the same reason that the instant someone tells you not to think about a pink elephant is the only thing in your head. So in the one setting where laughing is most forbidden, the silent room, the solemn ceremony, the strict classroom, the pressure not to laugh is exactly what keeps the laugh alive and growing. The forbiddenness doesn't suppress it, it feeds it, and it gets even more intense because of the stakes. The more serious the setting, the more catastrophic it would be to laugh, the higher your anxiety climbs about laughing. But that anxiety is itself another spike of emotional pressure, which, as we just learned, your body wants to release through, of all things, laughter. So you get a vicious little loop. You're scared of laughing, that fear adds tension, the tension seeks release, and the release valve is the very laugh you're terrified of. The fear of laughing literally makes you more likely to laugh. So put together everything so far, and the picture is almost the opposite of what it feels like. It feels like your body has betrayed you, like you're laughing at something sacred. But what's really happening is that your brain is drowning in emotional pressure, fear, grief, anxiety, the strain of suppression, and it's reaching for the most powerful release valve it has to pull you back to stable ground. But there's one final piece, and it's about the people around you. Remember that laughter, at its core, is a social signal. So nervous laughter isn't only doing something inside you, it's also broadcasting something outward. When humans encounter tension or potential threat in a group, laughter is one of the oldest ways we say, "It's all right. We're not in danger. Stand down." It's a sound of reassurance, a way of diffusing a charged moment and telling everyone, including yourself, that the situation is survivable. So part of why you laugh in a tense confrontation or a frightening moment is an ancient social reflex trying to take the temperature of the room down, to signal safety, to keep the group from tipping into panic or conflict. Your nervous laughter is, in a strange way, an attempt at peacemaking, a clumsy, badly timed, deeply embarrassing attempt at peacemaking, but peacemaking all the same. And once you understand all of this, the shame around it starts to dissolve. You are not a cold person for laughing at a funeral. You are not cruel for laughing when someone shares bad news. The laugh is not a measure of how little you care. If anything, it's often a sign of how much you're feeling, so much that your system overloaded and hit the release valve. The people who laugh at the worst moments are very often the people feeling the situation most intensely. So the next time it happens, the next time that impossible laugh starts to rise at exactly the wrong moment and the panic sets in, you'll know the truth. You're not broken, and you're not heartless. Your brain has been handed more emotional pressure than it can hold, in a situation where it can't process it any other way, and it's reaching for the one release valve that has calmed human beings down for hundreds of thousands of years. You're not laughing because something is funny. You're laughing because something is overwhelming. And this, as strange as it looks, is your mind trying to carry you through it.